Hello? Hello? Am I live? Sorry, excuse me. We just make sure everything is working correctly. See if the music is alright, see if my mic sounds alright. Let me see. Anyways, welcome to my first live stream here on the SasDood art channel. We're just gonna be drawing random things. We're just gonna be talking a little. That's pretty much it. I don't know. I'm just gonna be. I have my tablet right here. You can see it right here. I'm just gonna look up random things on Pinterest and draw and talk a lot, I guess. But let me take a look at this feedback and see if everything's all hanky panky, you know. All right, I adjusted the music a little. I had it set to like a desktop audio limit of 30. But it's really loud on my end. I'm not too sure like the level of audio I want is. Oh, I just muted it. Just slowly. I've got it set to 40. Let me double check and see if everything's good. It looks good to me, I think. Excuse me, sorry about that. I need to warm up. I haven't drawn at all like a week. Besides that drawing I posted a while ago or a couple days ago. Yeah, we're just gonna be drawing here, which is gonna be chilling. That's about it. There's not much to say. I got the jazz music in the background. We drawing random things, talking about random things. Do a little bit of warming up. Warm up the hand, do a little bit of scribbling, do a little bit of circling. I don't really have much space here on the desk, to be honest. Very cold in my apartment right now. Even though it's like, I don't know, it's been kind of windy these days. Warming up the hand. This is how I like to warm up. Before I do some drawing, I just do a lot of scribbles. I have it on the back here as well. Just a bunch of scribbles and circles. I don't do much warming up. If I do want to warm up, maybe I'll do some like serious, some like gesture drawings and things like that. But even though it's like, I don't know, it's pretty windy today. It's been pretty cold. In my apartment's like halfway under the ground, so it holds the cold very well, even when it is like, 70, 80 degrees outside. Yeah. Warm up the wrist. Oh, my shoulders. Yeah, we're just gonna be browsing Pinterest. I got my tablet over here, and I'm just be drawing random stuff. Feel free to ask me any questions. Feel free to like any questions like related to art. I can happily answer to the best of my abilities. If it's like coloring and things like that, I don't color. I can't really ask any of that, but for the most part, you have like a question for art, or like you need like a certain type of like tutorial for me to show on stream, I can do that. Depending on my limited knowledge, of course. Alright, I think that's pretty good. Let's see what I like about drawing on paper is, we're done, and then we just crumple it up, and you just throw it away, right? I'll just throw it somewhere on the floor. We don't need to worry about that art piece anymore, right? That's what I like about physical art. So I'm gonna hop on Pinterest here, and I'm gonna get something started. Probably do some like sword drawings. We can do some perspective or gesture drawings too. I don't know, I got some. I don't want to show everything off on my Pinterest, Some things might not be safe for work. Where is my... I can't... Here it is. Gotta find some drawings. I know it seems boring, I'm just doing nothing, but can't for the life of me find my album for swords and stuff. Okay, so we've got like this. So we can just do a little bit of some warm-up drawings. Got this, so I'll just... It's on the side. I don't know, I have this because it provides more of a platform for me to draw on. Then I have some extra sheets of paper on the back here. Just move this up. Beginner streamer, guys. Beginner streamer. I can probably just get rid of this, to be honest. It's like I have multiple sheets. Move the mic over. So let's measure this out. Okay, so measuring using my mechanical, we've got, it's about approximately the same. That's a little too... Let's draw on the sheath here. From what I measured, it's about this tall. My ear's itchy. It looks like it, the picture is cut off, but it looks like it comes to like a point somewhere around here. That's a little too thin. We'll round it out a little, I guess. That's important to line it up a little. Some sort of like screw on the front here. Some sort of sheath for it. Let's probably adjust that. Something like that. Then we got the sword. The sword is even bigger. So we were to do something like this. Get that hilt in there. So from the image I can see, so if I show it off over here, I measure using the mechanical, right? So I can just quickly measure how long it is judging by the mechanical, right? So I can see here that the middle part lines up with this one, so that's what I'm drawing right here. Is that middle part. And then after that I can measure and see that if we just leave it on there, that it's approximately as tall as my mechanical. Oops. So let's turn on the... This is a new feature I found on... If you can see here, it's called like... It disables a portion of your touchscreen for when you're drawing and stuff. So I like to use this as a light pad. So when I'm doing like bases and stuff and I'm doing like an actual art piece, I press the power button and the up volume button. It's something you have to do in settings, in the accessibility settings. It's called like disable touch inputs or something like that. You click it and then you can configure, I don't know how to change this, to how much of the screen you want to block, right? So now that I have that blue border around my tablet screen, it doesn't respond to touches until I press the top volume button and the power button at the same time. So that's really good. So usually if I'm like drawing something, I have it set on here and then I have the piece of paper over it and I'm like looking at and I'm adjusting the stuff for references stuff. I don't copy it wholesale as a lot of people like to say that I am, but I just use it for references and things like that. And speaking of that, I do have a art piece I'm working on if I want to show this off. is I've got this right here. Can anyone recognize who that is? Probably not. That's Arnold Schwarzenegger from Conan the Barbarian, the first one. So I did the exact same thing I just showed you with him. Is I had it lined up like this, and all I didn't copy the whole picture, right? I just you can see these markings that I have here for his eye space, the nose space, the mouth, the hair. What I like to do now is I put dots instead of just doing lines. I do like lines and dots. And that's what I did for this one. This one's obviously incomplete, but I've been working on this one a little bit. It's been a couple of days since I worked on this one. His indent looks weird because it's his hair and it's the skull indent at the same time. So it's a little weird, but yeah, I've been working on this one as well. I'm going to work on this one next week. Hopefully get that finished. Maybe it'll be something good. Well, this is like the only in-progress drawing that I have recently that I've been working on. I don't know whether to do a pencil or a like pen drawing with this one. I'm not sure at all. I've been meaning to experiment with pens, but I don't know. Anyways. So back to drawing. I think look crooked on my end. Okay. This one has like a closed be something like that. I don't know, I'm not very good at drawing swords and stuff. So let's measure it. So it's the same distance as this one. We're just going to preliminary lines here, and I can actually see I'm going a little bit too wide with it. Let's just mark a little bit of the shading here. Maybe I'll pull out my 0.9 and shade a little bit. We're just having fun, you know. We're not trying to be perfect. Move a little bit of that. It is a little too wide. Let's fix that. Oops. Should be something like this. Like a Something like that. I do think I made the blade a little too wide. This kind of juts out a little. Something like that, you know? Just a regular sword, I guess. I don't know. So if I were to shade this, it'd probably just be standard. So I have this worn down on the tip so I can shade it. It's my 0.9. What I was using the draw for was a 0.5. I don't know, I guess I'll just... worn down. Use a technique I showed in my latest video. I thought that video was pretty informative. You don't see a lot of... What video I'm talking about is the what do you call it? Shading with the broadside of a pencil video. I think that video is very good because they're usually when you do like mechanical shading, it usually is just cross hatching and hatching and things like that. But a lot of people don't really know you can shade with a mechanical the same way you can shade with a normal pencil, right? Well, I'll have to darken this up. Do like a shade darker. Let's go to like a second value for this one. It'll look a little nicer. What I've started experimenting with recently is I saw another YouTuber talk about how an art YouTuber talk about how you never need to sharpen your mechanical pencil, and as long as you like rotate your pencil around, right? As long as you use like the sharp tip and then you rotate it back down to, you just keep rotating it, you'll always have a sharp end, because as you have a sharp tip, that sharp tip will blunt and then the other side will be sharp, right? And then you just keep switching from the sharp end to the as the sharp end, you draw with the sharp end, and as it blunts down, you switch to the other end because the other end becomes sharp because the end you were just using was sharp and now it's blunted, right? And you just switch back and forth, back and forth. And I thought that was a really interesting way of looking at it that I'll have to take a look at in the future. Just do like just do random. I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm using like really low quality mechanicals, but the graphite isn't that high quality and you get like a lot of smudges right here like this. Maybe I need to start like actually blending using a like a tissue or whatever. I don't know, it doesn't look right to me, to be honest. Maybe I should stick with hatching and cross hatching when it comes to mechanical stuff. But since that is done, I'll just go over it and outline the outline it with the 0.5. Oh, and I really like using my 0.5. There you go. I guess we'll just do a light shading on the top here. And let's do like a circular shading like I did with my Metal Slug Theo. The drawing I just uploaded, I think on Thursday, I started using this circular type of, I wonder if it's shaking the camera too much while I'm doing it. But the same YouTuber I was talking about how how as you rotate the pencil from sharp to blended, it's basically a self-sharpening mechanical. He also did this technique where to render like 3D objects and stuff, you would do circling. The circling doesn't leave as harsh of like a step down like here when it comes to hatching, or to shading, not hatching, to graphite shading. And it actually kind of worked with the field drawing, although I don't think it turned out that great, to be honest. A lot more work doing circling as well. I wonder if there's, I'd have to do more research. I wonder if there's more ways to shade than just doing either or, this harsh type of shading or the circular shading. And I'm aware that sometimes I press too hard and things like that, so it doesn't look as great. But what can you do? I've recently started to become little less critical of my art. I'm just trying to draw, you know, have fun. So I don't take things as seriously. Yeah. If you're poking around on the channel, I just uploaded a new video about the Metal Slug art book slash documentary history collection. It's called Metal Slug: The Ultimate Collection. Just uploaded it today at 11 o'clock my time, so it was 11 a.m. CST. And if you guys are interested in that, check it out. If you aren't, you don't have to check it out. You know, that's fine with me. But it's actually a really cool art book, and I thought that it would be cool to share as well. And I kind of needed a video. I was really busy Labor Day, and I needed a video out. And the Metal Slug video did come out late. Was it? No, that was last week. I don't even have my weeks in order. I'm still thinking about Labor Day, even though we're a week past Labor Day. Wow. I have a calendar at home. I have a calendar on my phone that I look at every time on my lock screen. I just don't look at it. Wow. I really thought it was still like, it goes to show you how much I pay attention to the passage of time. Yeah. But Labor Day I was really busy, so I couldn't really upload. That's kind of my fault because I had like 3 or 4 days to work on that Metal Slug video. I had it recorded and set up and everything. I just needed to edit it. And then Labor Day came by and blew me away in terms of being busy, and I just decided not to upload for that week. So usually I just do weeklies, but I don't know. It's kind of been harder for me to make content and things like that, so I'm kind of a little burnt out. But that, I did not intend to miss that week's video. I just managed my time really poorly in the days coming up to Labor Day, and then Labor Day just slammed me out of nowhere, and I missed that upload for that week, which I am regretful for, because since starting this channel, I think a year and a half ago, I've only, like, on a handful of times, I've missed that weekly upload. Like, I'd rather not upload for that week if I truly am busy and I don't really have anything to really talk about or do. Not that I don't have things to talk about, it's that I'm not going to upload something just to upload something to meet that weekly quota, right? I want my content to be, want my videos to be worthy of other people's times. So if it's something that's not worth it, then I simply don't really upload for that week. If I don't have like a good art talk, if I don't have a good speed drawing, things like that. I can probably darken these a little more. Doing a little, instead of circle, I'm doing like a little bit of ovaling right now. We're almost done with this sword drawing. So, yeah. I don't want to talk about the reasons I started doing these live streams. I'm not big of a live stream guy. But I kind of want to draw more like creatively, and I want to draw more outside of like my couple of times I do drawing a week. So I thought like doing a weekend live stream would be great because I can work on my skills at the same time, you know, interacting with the people of the channel a little bit, talk about some things that I usually don't talk about on the channel, and just have fun. I see a lot of people doing art live streams, and I frequent a lot of Mead McLean's art live streams. I really like his art live streams, his focus on sketching and things like that. A really skilled artist. See that white. And he hasn't streamed in a while, but I'll be there when he comes back. I'm not going to force him. I'm not going to keep bugging him about it. He's given me a lot of helpful advice when it comes to drawing and things like that, so. But yeah, I just want to creatively draw more. I want to draw things that aren't necessarily like humans. Well, I just want to draw more. I don't know why. Hard for me to explain. I don't know. The words come very difficult to me when it comes to explaining drawing. Not that I hate drawing, but been not prioritizing it as much recently. So I thought doing the weekend live streams would be great. I'm not really liking this process anymore, to be honest, of this shading this technique. I think it's kind of worn out its welcome for me. I think it's had a good run. I might have to go back to cross hatching or something like that. It doesn't look good for me. It doesn't look good. A little bit of line weight. Line weight is something I'm really bad at too. You go a little darker on the sword blade here. Just slow and steady drawing, you know, we're not trying to win any races. Oh, there you go. Right. So here's the reference image on the left. There is my drawing, I guess you would say. I could do some line weight right there. See that line weight on there looks good. The line weight right here. Like emphasize the sheath, a little bit of line weight. Point of the sheath, a little bit of line weight right there. Alright, I guess. Doesn't look too bad. It looks alright, I guess. I don't know. Alright, let me find a different reference image. Okay, here we've got a dagger of some sort. I probably should have drawn this on the side so I have more room to draw things. Well, let me take a drink. Some water. Alright, let's turn this over. The weight is 0.9 for now. So let's take a look at this. See here that it is almost as tall as my mechanical. It just ends right there, and it's going to be in some sort of perspective going that way, and it's naturally going to be wider up here. Like if my fingers are like this wide because we're the hilt, and then it would, if you see my fingers, it slowly closes in, right? So we need to be mindful of that. So I know that from... That's why you have 2 mechanicals, right? I know from tip here, the tip here. Actually, it's actually a little less than that tip. Somewhere around here. Right? Is how long the dagger is going to be. We take our mechanical again, measure it, and we can see that from the right here, right before the, right at the eraser line, not at the top of the eraser, but at the eraser line, like the holder thing, to about a little bit before this clip right here, we can see that about that wide. Okay. Actually, let's also see how far up that is as well. That's important. Okay, so it's about approximately the same height. The width and the height are kind of the same, it seems. This is great measuring advice as well. So let's take this. This is where the hilt would be. And we have to kind of find, we have to like split the differential. Right? So let me... We were to... It's kind of difficult. Guess you would start with having some sort of middle line here, splitting everything, something like that. Right, see, that's the problem. Gotta... Maybe like right there. It's always gonna be skewed. We can see where the middle lines up. Something like that. We'll move it over a little. Still not right. We'd move it over. It doesn't have to be accurate, it's whatever. Spend all my time measuring this thing just for it to come out wonky anyways. Like every great person has said, we can fix it in post. Right? We want this to be length as this. Is it? I don't know. That's okay. So just, I guess it's diagonal, so I'm just gonna do it like this. Some sort of hexagonal pommel. Say that twice as fast. And then that leads to a sort of handle right here. Hexagonal pommel. Got a little shorter. I guess we'll just do a whole bunch of parentheses. This is gonna look not that great to be honest. We're gonna be Yeah, this is... Why do weapons have to be symmetrical and difficult to draw? It's gonna be a little tough. Be some sort of pattern here. Of grip. Doing a lot of repeating patterns. Do this up a little. Okay. Like how I have a symmetrical thing going on here, but I still mess it up. Because that is not symmetrical on this pattern here. Whatever. Okay. Then it goes like this. Actually, that would be... So it kind of like goes down a little. Something like that. Probably. Okay, so I can see from the image here that the blade handle is wider than this pommel thing. Here. Not that wider, but... There you go, that's not too bad. We even have the handy dandy middle line, even though it's not symmetrical at all. I guess I should do... Right side isn't... The left side isn't as symmetrical as the left side there. Redo that real quick. It's whatever. Erase that. Got like a... some sort of large... I don't know what that is. Okay, I mean... Looks alright, I guess. Should I refine it? I don't think I should. That's gonna take too much time. The point is to get experience for drawing weapons and things like that. I have drawn plenty of these weapons before, but you know. I guess I could do some stippling with this one. That's gonna take a while. I really like doing stippling when it comes to these like old iron weapons and things like that. Indicate a curve there. Stippling is tedious. Not a big fan of stippling, but I'm not gonna say I'm not a big fan of it. It just takes a lot of time. Done correctly, when even done semi-correctly, it looks really good. End of my let out a little. Probably should not have done stippling leading up to here. That's okay. I feel like some light stipples. A lot more heavy stipples here. Stipple everywhere. I love stippling. Stippling is favorite thing to do. I don't know, stippling doesn't look as good with pencil. I guess for the bottom here, we'll just do cross hatching. It's hard to like, how do you... Guess I'll just stipple the rest of this blade. I never really understood how you're supposed to get like that dirty metal look to a blade with a pencil. I guess you would just do a base area of hatching, stippling, graphite shading, and then make some vague shapes, darken over those areas, and that's how you would get it. I'm not sure. The one thing I'll say about stippling it is it's very satisfying to look at when you like speed it up, or like when it's in some sort of like time lapse. It's an absolute pain on the hands, as I am figuring out right now, even if you're putting the lightest of pressure on there. But it does look good. I'm not sure if it looks good with pencil. Maybe I'm just a fake pencil artist. I should just do pen and ink. I do need to experiment with pen more. See, I knew something was off. There we go. It's still a little bit larger on the right, but what can you do? Doesn't really matter to me. Drawing things like this also give me a chance to practice different rendering techniques and different drawing philosophies as well. So it's good to, I think, just relax a little and sometimes not just draw all the time. You know, focus on putting out a completed product every single week. Sometimes it's good to just sit back and draw things that you're interested in at a more casual pace and like just explore. Because I have made a lot of shifts in my art style and a lot of shifts in my drawing philosophy. Ever since I quit drawing digital, it's given me a lot more freedom to just do a lot of practice and just think outside the box. To find something that really is unique to me. If you look at my artwork, pre-physical or traditional art and post, there's like a big difference. And there's only so much you can do with digital drawing programs, I think. I prefer being limited by just a pencil and paper, like a pen and paper, rather than the digital. I'm kind of ignoring the light spots because I'm stupid, but darken up spots that looks like they need darkening up to make it look like it's got that dirty look to it. Yeah, I think stippling is really good for like medieval weapons and things like that. Give that sort of dirty look, that worn out feel to the weapons there. It does get darker at the top here. That's like flecks, right? Flecks of worn down material and things like that. I guess we can pull out the shade straight down for that one to show off that side. I guess we'll just I guess I'll do like a, instead of doing it like that. A little bit of wrapping lines around the, I don't know, man. I honestly don't. I don't know what the heck I'm doing. 99% of the time, I don't know what I'm doing. And, you know, guess that's just any creative endeavor, I guess. And I just broke my lid. But the only thing I don't like about 0.5s, you push a little bit too hard trying to get those darker lines. Lead just, yep, I just broke it again. Okay. Let's soften up the lead here. Let's blunt the, dude. Okay. So you don't, there you go. You don't have too much of a lead on the mechanical there. Otherwise it'll just snap. That was the perfect like lead for me as well that I just broke. See, now it looks horrible. Guess I should have softened the lead up a little more. Okay. Whatever, I guess. Broke it again. Kind of makes me mad. A little bit mad. That is a horrible dagger. Looks alright, I guess. I don't know. Don't look too alright. I don't know what I was doing with the cross hatching here. I wanted to like indicate the wrapping forms of the thing, but I probably should have just shaded it normally. I should have done, I guess I could have done like a smoothing, like a smooth graphite shading on this bottom and done wrapping lines for the whatever it's called. And this left side still should have been like more on the left. I guess I can't even fix that. That's like a already rendered it and everything. Yeah, I don't know. Looks alright, I guess. I don't know. I don't think it looks that great, but I just say that it looks alright to save my ego. Let me take a drink here. Let's set this off to the side here. Maybe we should do like something else. Let me look for some more Pinterest stuff. This is something that a lot of people struggle with, me included, and that's like folds and things like that. Pipe fold. I don't know if there's like a diaper fold, there's a pipe fold, there's an XYZ fold. But we can take a quick crack at this one. I don't think it's gonna take as long. Oh, let's just measure it. Yeah. That's why I don't like drawing on paper on top of paper, because you get a lot of marks. Well, it's printer paper, so it's not the highest, thickest quality, but let's see if I can do this pipe fold real quick. That's about what I measured. It's up here. Do this really quick. This is a really good exercise. Get out of here, scrap paper. Tried to do a little no erasing on this, but I right here, right here. Okay. I messed up. A little too far out, I think. And this one is a little not wide. See, what I messed up here is these are too wide. They should all be bunched up. Should all be bunched up like this. Because the tension point is right here. So it doesn't really look like it's hanging from there because I messed up. Go over it darker. I kind of made it too wide for most of them. And as a result, there's not really like it doesn't look like a tension point, right? If we were to give it like a background, we could just like I guess you could just right. Have it just hang against something. I guess it would have been just better to do horizontal instead of verticals, but since like I said, the tension point is up here, all of this stuff is going to go like up here. I still kind of messed up here. It should be longer. So yeah. You need to be careful of that. And obviously you do like wrapping lines to suggest. Right. Do some wrapping lines to suggest that they're round forms. If I were to like shade this entirely, since it's grain, I would, on the camera it looks like lighter than it is. In person it's like a forced green. I would just do wrapping lines all around this thing. Like this. Although, you know, it'd be a little bit better. Not too much better, but it'd be a little bit, right? To indicate the forms. And then for like things like this, I'd do something like that, or something like this, right? To indicate the form. Yeah. Not the greatest, not the best. I wasn't paying too much attention to the tension point. Pun not intended. And that's why I messed up on that. Good practice though. can do a little bit of gesture drawing, and I think that'll be it for the stream here. I've got this picture of this lady, woman, this girl doing this type of ballerina stretching. Yeah, it's ballerina. I'm really bad at gesture drawing. I have been practicing, as in I do like one gesture drawing every like 8 days. I'm really bad at it. But once again, let me show off reference image here. Okay, I guess. I'm thinking of just doing like some sort of bean shape, or like some sort of pillow shape, right? And I guess the line of action, when you do a gesture drawing like this, you want to look for some sort of line of action, right? And I feel like the line of action is for spine, right? That's the thing that we're like, when you look at this picture, what's the first thing you look at for like that type of movement, that type of energy? And I'm thinking it's this curve of her spine along with the offsetting curves of her buttocks. We've got her thigh here, got her calf, tapering of her calf into another offsetting curve of her heel and the sole of her foot down to her toes, right? So this whole curve right here, and that curve extends also to the front of her body, right? So we have this curve right here. We have the opposing higher lower muscles of the leg. Boom, right? So that's what I'm thinking of. You could some sort of bean shape, some sort of pillow shape, right? So let's take a crack at it. I don't really know how you're supposed to like. Gesture drawing is different for everyone. Everyone's got their own technique. Everyone's got their own way they do it and how they shade and things like that. I don't have a particular way of doing it. I just follow doing like the pillow method, the bean method, things like that. So, so we'll do it over here. So I feel like we want to start off with some sort of like bean shape here. Want to be loose, right? Something like this. We've got her head here, and to indicate that it's her head facing down, we'll just put like a little nose right here, right? Put like a cross sign, put like a little nose right there, and then we can do a line of action from her head. Get a circle for the pelvis there. It's gonna go off the page. This is a horrendous gesture drawing, to be honest. Oh my gosh. Never tell me to do gesture drawing ever again, dude. Holy fudge sickle. Let's do this in the middle of the page. Let's ignore this abomination I've made. When I do like the bean method and the pill method, this is what happens. That is an abomination of God. That's why I don't like doing like the whole gesture thing. But that'd be... I never really understood this whole feel the flow. You must feel the energy in the pose. I do not feel the pose. I do not feel the energy. I never really understood how you're supposed to feel the energy with a gesture drawing. To be honest with you, it's horrendous. I know. I have no experience in gesture drawing whatsoever. That is like way too... I really got to do some work when it comes to this type of stuff. Holding on to something. I'm trying to like rush through it to feel the energy, dude, but I don't feel the energy at all. Do not. Whatever. There's my gesture pose, bro. I don't like using this bean method, right? This like pillow method, because I like doing squares and shit. Oh, I didn't mean to swear there. I like doing, you know, I like doing this stuff. I like doing this stuff. I never really understood the appeal behind. You got the underwear shape here. This is the type, like, I like doing a more structural analysis to this, not this pillow shape that we got going on, so. I understand I'm supposed to look at the counterweights because each, you know, the body has like a counterweight to everything. Things like that, but I'm just not that informed when it comes to gesture drawing to be like that. Like, how do I make the head like a oval? Do I make the head a box? I understand the intent behind it, right? Behind the point of doing like a gesture drawing. Not a really big fan of it, I guess. That's just my lack of experience, I guess. I don't know. I'd make her head a little bigger. There you go. I very much dislike the whole gesture drawing thing. I'll have to practice gesture drawing in my off time. It also looks like she has no butt. Put that in. It's whatever, you know. A horrible gesture drawing. I need to practice this on my off time. Really bad at this type of stuff. Yeah, at least the folds didn't you know, turn out so, too bad. We've got this dagger here, and we've got sword here. Let's find some more stuff to draw, since that turned out so horrible. I apologize for subjecting everyone to that. Just look at my Pinterest. Yeah. I'm just not. Yeah. Thank you for the tip. That one was just a crapshoot. I did do some gesture drawing when I was doing my studies like a year ago or something like that. Since then, I have not done a lot of gesture drawings. I've been doing more static, like half body up drawings. I definitely need practice. There's no doubt about it. I'm just really bad at it. I do understand the counterweights to like the body and the legs, and I know I've studied anatomy. I've studied anatomy extensively, but applying it to, you know, a more of a gestural way is very difficult for me, right? I'm not a gesture type of guy. I don't really understand how to feel the gesture. I always thought that was kind of a like such a, how do you call it, a I don't know, it's just I don't feel the gesture. It doesn't, I'm just not like a whole body type of guy, I guess. I just need more practice. I can definitely feel the harmony and things like that when I do like face drawings and I do like portraits and things like that, but I don't really get that same type of like harmony and energy between all the muscles and stuff like that when it comes to like gesture stuff, right? I just need more practice. I have done some gesture drawings, but they're once in a blue moon. It's definitely a weakness of mine. I want to draw more full body stuff, so I have to study it. I have to study. I've just been really lazy. Thank you for the tip. Yes, I do need to use my shoulder more. Yes, I do. Let's look up. This has been staring at me for a while. We got this Pikmin type thing. I don't know what this is. It's a Mockiwi. We can draw this, I guess. We can do this one, I guess. Yeah, gesture drawing is not different. Like I said, I've done some gesture drawing. I'm really bad at it, so I'm just looking, you know, this live stream just here to try things out, to show people, stepping out of the comfort zone, like you said. Thank you for your tips. I definitely need a lot of tips. I definitely need a lot more practice. Yeah, a lot more practice. How long are you a artist? Amber, do you like drawing? I assume you do, since you clicked on this live stream. Oh boy, I don't like drawing creatures and things like that, but I guess we'll just do like a big oval thing. This is gonna be a horrendous drawing too. You would just start with like some sort of blob. Something like that. You're doing some digital drawing, bigger drawing during college. Nice. I used to be a digital artist, and then I did the opposite. I switched over from digital to traditional drawing. I'm not a big fan of traditional, or of digital drawing, I mean. You don't hear that a lot, right? A person switching over from digital to traditional. Normally it's the other way around. But I'm not a big digital drawer. I based my whole entire drawing, like, quote unquote career. I've been drawing for 3.5 years solely digitally. I say career because that's all I've been doing. But yeah, you don't hear that a lot, right? A guy switching from digital to traditional. It's not really a thing you hear, especially in like the modern age, right? Everyone you see is like a digital artist. Not a big fan of it. It's gonna be an abomination of a creature. I've never drawn a creature in my life. It's like the first time I actually draw a creature. It's gonna look like some kind of freak of nature. Like it already does look like a freak of nature, but it kind of looks cute, but it is more fun drawing traditionally. Like, you know, that's like the quiet part out loud. You don't, you just said the quiet part out loud. A lot of people, it's fun to have like something physical, I guess. I don't know if it's like maybe some sort of like part of the brain or something, but it's genuinely more fun drawing traditionally than it is. This is horrible. Drawing traditionally than it is digital. I've never drawn this creature in my life. I don't know what this thing is. This is like something nightmare fuel that like you see in a nightmare. Like you're like sleepwalking or something. A freak of nature. This thing should be put down, what I'm drawing here. It's like lab testing, you know, when they test on rats or something. I mean, the polygonal nature doesn't really help either. Oops. It's I'm just saying things to be funny. Like, I'm not obviously, like, it's like I'm not serious about like putting myself down, right? It's just, I'm just trying to be funny. I'm not. Beautiful. This is a beautiful creature. Boom. Looking, it's, you know, I take it back. This thing's looking handsome. This thing's looking very handsome. I very rarely just sit down and just draw and like mess around. No, I am not a color guy, to be honest. I don't, it's weird to say, but I very much dislike color. Is that like, that's a weird thing to say, I guess, but I very much prefer black and white. I was thinking of grabbing like some colored pencils from the store or something, just messing around with them. I'll probably still do that, but yeah, I'm not very much a color guy. Very much like a black and white manga graphite type of guy. I don't even own any colors. Like, I don't have any markers. I don't have any colored pencils. I don't have, like, any sort of thing to color with. It would just be the equivalent of, like, a kindergartner just smashing the colored pencil on the paper. Hey, what's going on? Nico Blocks, how are you? Just messing around, drawing random things, I guess. I did do, like I said, I have some drawings. I have some drawings here I did. Compared to whatever this is and whatever my gesture drawing was. I drew this sword thing. I've got this dagger here. I did a little bit of, I did some stippling on there. And earlier in the stream, I was like showing off how to do like a pipe fold from a random picture. And then we have this, I don't know what this is. The line of action was like right here, right? So, graphite and charcoal. I recently just made a video on my channel about like shading using like a mechanical pencil. It's like shading with the broad side of the mechanical. And in that video, I showed off how you can take like the tip of like the mechanical. I don't know if you can see that. And you can just dull it down on like a scrap piece of paper like this. And you get like basically, it's not the same process as graphite shading with like a long piece of lead or something like that, right? But you can get some pretty good things out of it, and that's what I did. Oh, sorry about that. With this one, right? So I did a little bit of just harsh shading on here, and then I did some circling using that method. And I recently did a drawing. I have this drawing of Theo from Metal Slug, and the values are all off. I'm not really good at shading, but and the reference image I used for like the image was like a little weird, but you can see here I did like a lot of like directional shading. I did a lot of that technique up here, and you can see it's the graphite smeared off over here. But what I did up here is like what I did down here. And for this one, I did a lot of like circular shading and things like that. I have a like Crash Bandicoot drawing I did. And for this one, it like really works for like fur and things like that, where you're using that type of like graphite blending with that blunt edge. And then I did a little bit of stippling on the nose there. For like Crash Bandicoot and things like that, it's really good. But for like humans and stuff like that, I'm not sure. Circling is better because it's more of a 3D. Using the circling method is really good. You just do circles. Things like that. Anyways, I guess you would. This is a beautiful, beautiful abomination that we're drawing here. I've never seen this enemy in my life. This is from Hey Pikmin. I'm not even a fan of Pikmin, to be honest, but beautiful. I don't know. I'm just gonna leave it at that. There is no saving this picture. I think it'd be better if I made like the eyes bigger. If I like actually, I messed up the perspective. It's supposed to be like more over here in terms of the perspective. Instead, I kind of did the perspective more like right there. So I kind of messed up on that. Yeah, I've been messing around a lot. I've been doing things like that. I definitely do need to work on my gesture drawing. Let's see if we can find like a different image. I'm not a big fan of like drawing creatures and cutesy animals. I'm like a human artist, you know, like the thing I would like for people to understand is I don't draw creatures. I don't draw like realistic buildings. I draw portraits and I draw like bodies from like the half up. And occasionally I'll do like a what do you call it? Like a full body. But most of the time, yeah, for sure. I mean, you can draw along, you can hang out, you can lurk. It doesn't really matter. That's, you know, as long as we're having fun, right? I can't lie, I've been having a lot of fun this stream, just messing around. I'm a big fan of like Conan the Barbarian and like sword and sorcery type stuff, so that's what I'm trying to do more of. Hey Sid, how's it going? Just looking for things to draw here on Pinterest. Maybe I should do more folds and things like that. I got like a whole bunch of like folds here on my tablet here. So I just drew this one right here. I'm pretty good with folds. I'm not the best at them. This one seems pretty good. I like this one right here. Oops. Let's take a crack at this one. Immediately I can tell what are these called? Like pipe folds? They're not diaper folds. I don't know what you call them. They call them all sorts of things. We can just take a look at this, and what I like to do when drawing is, you know, just take the mechanical and measure it out so I can see that from like the top to the bottom about approximately the same size as my mechanical. Take that information and roll with it. That's why you got two mechanicals. How's everyone doing? Everyone having a great weekend? Everyone have a great Labor Day weekend? I was really busy my Labor Day weekend. Just hang out, talk, you can grab your own sketchbooks and draw. That's fine with me. Let me take a drink of water before we start. I hate the mic is covering my tablet. Let's see if this one will turn out as horrendous. I like drawing folds. Folds are great to draw. Great practice too. I never really had much trouble with folds, to be honest. But then again, I'll say that and then I'll completely butcher this. It's performance anxiety. You know, when I'm drawing alone, everything's fine. But as soon as I do anything on camera, it turns out. I already messed up where to place the stuff. Should have been over here. Oh, let's do a little bit longer strokes there. Yeah, I feel like I already messed up here. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did. Yeah. So we got the first. I guess it'd be better if I did the top first so I can see. Yeah, this is actually my first live stream. I just uploaded a video today showing off one of my art books for Metal Slug, and I was like, last night I was thinking, what should I do for the weekend? I was like, well, for the weekend I normally just play video games or just watch YouTube, and I was like, well, maybe I should, you know, do like a live stream. I've been thinking a lot about like doing live streams and things like that. So here I am, right? Just doing some live streams. Yeah, YouTube's been better about recommending like smaller scale live streams and YouTubers like that, right? I don't know, something must have changed with their algorithm or something, because I've been getting a lot of smaller YouTubers when it comes to just like video games and stuff like that. So, and I've been getting a lot of like art live streams too from random people. So clearly YouTube is doing something right. If it's like recommending my live stream from like a smaller YouTuber, smaller unknown YouTuber, as well as just other people's live streams as well. We got like a Y fold here. For art live streams, I usually just kind of like, I watch them for a couple minutes and then I click off. But some I've been watching a lot recently. I'm not a big fan of like live streams either. I like doing normal content for the YouTube. But today I was like, well, I'm not doing anything today. I don't got anything planned, so I might as well just get a little bit of drawing in, get out of my comfort zone. Yeah, I feel like, why did I do this all the way over here? Busy talking. Like, what do I think of drawing from a memory or imagination? I don't have any imagination. I do not have a creative bone in my body, which is very ironic considering I like to draw. But I think it's a skill that can be trained just like any other, right? Genetically, there are gonna be people that have that are easier, that have it easier on themselves to visualize 3D information and 3D shapes, and they're able to memorize more shapes, and they're able to draw those shapes out of memory and put it on the paper. But there is a need for both artists who can draw from concept and who can make that concept fit from like a reference and things like that, and people who can draw purely from imagination. You know, it's not a it's kind of like a spectrum, right? There are people who are really good at drawing the craziest figures and monsters and things from their mind, right? And then on the opposite spectrum, I'm not the first one, by the way. I have nothing in my brain going on when it comes to drawing, when it comes to creative drawing. I do, with time, as I have continued drawing and practicing, I have become better at imagining scenarios from my head and applying it, but that's mainly because my mental library has widened and my skill has gotten better. But on the other opposite end, you have artists who purely stick to reference, right? And that's me. I stick to reference. I can't draw anything without a reference. Straight up. Like, if I don't have a reference, I don't draw. And you want to be somewhere in the middle, right? You don't want to be just a pure referential artist. To a degree, you want to have a little bit of both. You want to be able to draw from your head. If not draw from your head, at least imagine in your mind like a pose you want or some sort of like scenario you want. And then what you do is you go out to Pinterest, you go out to Google, you go out to 3D modeling websites, and you make it a reality, right? It's a little bit of best of both worlds. I don't really understand or recommend the idea that drawing from imagination is the correct, quote unquote, correct move, nor is it like the right move. And that's what you see parroted a lot by like younger artists and artists who want to be like mangakas and things like that. I've gotten a lot of like comments on my YouTube channel where it's like, oh, you're drawing from reference, you're copying, or things like that, when I'm just using the reference as a starting point, like for lining up facial features and stuff like that, and then I do the rest on my own. And it's a common thought, it's a pervasive thought in the art community, and especially those who are like younger and those who are less knowledgeable about art in general. TLDR, what do I think about drawing from memory or imagination? I think it's a little overrated. I think that as long as you're drawing, as long as you're being creative, and by being creative, I mean as long as you're just drawing, you're creating something, you'll be fine, right? As time passes, you'll gain more skill as you do more focused studies, as you do more, as you branch out more horizons will be open to you as you draw and as you explore. So don't take it too seriously when someone tells you that only real artists draw from imagination or only real artists draw from their mind, because that's simply not true. Not everyone can just pull out an image out of their mind. So don't take those comments too seriously. Oh no, this was a pretty okay fold drawing, I guess. Let's maybe not look at that on the back there. But yeah, I messed up here and there, but I think as a general, just like quick drawing, I think it's fine. I don't want to shade it. Too much work. I hope that answers your question. It was a very long-winded question, but the way I like to talk and explain things, I'm not very good at explaining, and I don't like to leave things to like interpretation, and I like to make my viewpoint, very clearly, even if it may be long-winded. So if you understood any of my incoherent ramblings. That'd be great. But thank you for the question. At the end of the day, it's all drawing, it's all art. As long as you're drawing, as long as you're doing like focus studies, as long as you're drawing with a purpose, you'll get better at art in no time. You know, just don't take it so seriously. Don't put like a timeline on your art. Don't put a timeline on your art style. Don't put a timeline on anything, you know. Just go where the wind takes you. And if that gets you some sort of controversy or things like that, you know, so be it, right? As long as you're not actively like, the only rule in art is as long as you're not actively stealing things and claiming them as your own, you're fine, right? There's a lot of people who, you know, they'll straight up, you know, they'll do what I do sometimes. Like, what I do is I like to like overlay the paper on top. I have a light pad down there, and I have a printer, so I print things out. You can lay it over the top, and you can copy it line by line. And there are people who do that, and then they color it, right? They're colorists, and that's fine, right? Some people say rotoscoping isn't a real art form. Like, I think that's a ridiculous statement to make in animation. Rotoscoping, it's an art form in and of itself, but it's like, oh, you're just copying the line over and over again. And a lot of people are uninformed, and a lot of people just say a bunch of stuff they don't mean on the internet because of anonymity and things like that. So do whatever you want, man. As long as you're not actively stealing, as long as you're actively like crediting the artist that you're taking from. Like, if you're doing like a reference image and you do like you're drawing like Goku or whatever, be like, hey man, this is Goku, Akira Toriyama. Like, everyone knows who Goku is. You don't really need to credit him for that, but you know, things, you know what I mean. The more you draw from reference, the more you learn to build visual library. Yes and yes. Yes and yes. That is true. Yeah, that is good advice. But at the same time, you still want to work on some of your creative building blocks, your fundamentals. So when you do draw from like imagination, or you draw from a subject that's unfamiliar to you, you'll be better for it, right? Very long-winded speech. Just to say, you know, do what you want. It's getting yeah. The main thing is, as long as you're having fun and you're not actively stealing art, and if you do like directly reference an artist, like you're doing like an art study piece, make sure to reference them, right? That's about it. Like, for instance, I'm going in another like long-winded tangent. I'm doing like a Arnold Schwarzenegger Conan the Barbarian drawing right now, right? And this is an unfinished drawing. It's been just sitting there for a couple days now, right? And what I did is, I don't exactly copy it wholesale. Let me see if I can find the reference I used. So here we have like, I don't think it's the exact reference. Maybe it is. I think the reference I used didn't have like the letters on the top and bottom. But what I did and what I do for my drawings is, I don't copy it entirely, right? What I do, as you can see here, is I have the line markings, right? So I just line up the facial features, and then I do the rest by myself, right? And some people will say that's cheating. Some people will say that's copying. It's like, I don't really care. I'm trying to create an accurate image. Of course, I didn't study the whole image line for line for line. But That's what I do. Hey, Amber, thanks for coming by. Thanks for talking. Thanks for chatting. Hope all goes well with your own art journey. Oh, yeah. I didn't copy every line in this picture line for line, right? I looked at the spacing and I just matched up the spacing with lines and dots, and then I took the rest from there using my own sight and experience with drawing. I think this was the image I had without the lettering and stuff like that. Have some. Oops. What's happening? Where's my... Mixed up these accidentally. Put these over there on the keyboard. I gotta find more references when I do these. I kind of just went most favorite artist. That's hard to say. Most favorite, top one artist. I really like Takehito Harada from Disgaea and Phantom Brave, and mainly Disgaea fame. Everyone knows him for Disgaea. I really like Disgaea. Favorite artist, I don't know. He's probably top one for me. If you know what Disgaea is, I have a. I can pull up an art book. Where should I put this? I have no room on my desk for any. With my streaming setup, let me pull up one of his art books. I just messed up my camera. Takehito Harada Artworks 1. So this is a compilation of some of the work he's done. On my channel, I have art book overviews and things like that. If you want to take a look at my art book collection, I have an extensive art book collection. Hundreds of dollars. Close to $1,000 of just art book and just regular books. Yeah, this is my guy right here. This is my favorite artist right here. I really like this image. I really don't like anime drawings. I'm not a big fan of the anime aesthetic, but Takehito Harada had like that edgy anime look that just works so well. Yeah, this is my guy right here. This is the man that started, me on my drawing journey, to be honest. Love the color, the oversaturated colors, the chibi character designs, the very like anti-anime look that he had going on is what really, impressed me. Let's go a little bit further. Very colorful. I'm not a big fan of colors. I very much prefer black and white, grayscale, like pen and ink drawings and just like graphite drawings in general. But this guy really, really knocks it out of the park for me. Of course. Japanese artist. Draws schoolgirls in swimwear. He's very, he's very skilled. So whenever I say like drawing from imagination, this is a man that has his fundamentals down. This is a man that has his color theory down. This is a man that went to college for drawing. He's dedicated decades of his life to drawing, right? And that's why he can do these images, right? Don't expect to draw like this man in like a year, right? It just takes a long time. Love these full page spreads right here. I don't even try coloring. I very much dislike coloring. But I think I will grab a set of like colored pencils from like a Walmart or like a Dollar Tree and just give it a try. I never studied color theory, things like that. I do want to give coloring a shot. But anyways, yeah. So if you want to look him up more, Takehito Harada. He's mainly known for Disgaea. Disgaea. Top one video game series of all time, I think. When was this made? This costs $40 new. That's crazy. It's very dirty. If another, I don't have another artist. Do I have another? Like, I have a lot of like artists that I like to look at, but none that are like as influential as this guy right here. Do you like Dragon Ball? I have a Dragon Ball art book. I'm not a big fan of Akira Toriyama too much anymore nowadays. I used to be when I was younger, but I have a Dragon Ball art book over there. Yeah, I can't really name a guy. Like, if you asked me before, like when I was like a sophomore in high school, I would probably say Akira Toriyama. But nowadays, I'm not too big into Dragon Ball. I'm not too big into anime in general. Let me pull out the Dragon Ball art book. I'm more of a Akira Toriyama fan pre-Dragon Ball Z than I am modern Akira Toriyama. Let's put that down there. You love Dragon Ball? Yeah. Everyone loves Dragon Ball. I'm not a big fan. Not anymore. But like the OG Dragon Ball, I'm a big fan of. Dragon Ball Z past like the Frieza arc, not for me. Dragon Ball Super, not for me. Dragon Ball GT is really good, and Daima was alright. Yeah, I really like OG Dragon Ball. Big fan of OG Dragon Ball. Dr. Slump. Stanland. Even though I'm not the biggest fan of Dragon Ball anymore, the way he designs his manga panels and the speed he conveys is top one. There will never be an artist on this planet that we call Earth that can convey such speed and such drawing, like and action drawing in his panels, in his big wide panels. There never will be anyone like Akira Toriyama in that aspect. I'll give him that. I will give him that, you know. If we can yeah, his mecha drawings are really good. When it comes to action scenes in the manga, I will say he is top one. I will not say he's the greatest of all time in other aspects. But when it comes to action scenes and the way he designs his manga panels and his manga in general, very good. Probably top one. I will give him props for that. I've been meaning to get rid of this art book. It just stays in my collection. Okay. The pale yellow Super Saiyan. Really good. Like past like the Frieza saga is when I really stopped liking Dragon Ball Z. Although I do like the androids and I do like Cell. He just has so many iconic drawings. Like he might be the hardest working mangaka there ever was, to be honest. I can't really, that's like not really an exaggeration. He really, look at this, dude. The colors, the colors. I was thinking of doing like a Super Saiyan 4 Daima Goku like drawing. Maybe I should get on that sometime soon. I mean, it's still in our live stream, right? It's still in our live stream. I like to show off my art books. If you take a look at my channel, I have a whole playlist for all my art books where I put music to it. I explain the publication and some little information about it. And then I just flip through it, the entire art book. This, in a way, is art. If you want to draw better, you must look at art, right? So sometimes you have to take a break and you just gotta consume, right? You can't just be creating all the time. Sometimes you gotta sit back, smell the roses, and just look at some really good art, you know? This is really good. Come on, this is really good. Maybe as much as I don't really like Dragon Ball anymore, I cannot lie. His drawings are amazing. Like, I would sit here all day and look at all my art books if I wanted to. I think I will. Maybe I'll do like a art live stream one of these days where if you know who Speed Doru is, Speed Doru, he just did the Evo animations. He has like a 3-hour video going over all of his art books and things like that. And I kind of want to do the same with my art books, but I'm a little broke. I spent all my money on art books and things like that, so yeah. I do have a lot of art books and I've spent a lot of money on my art book collection. I mean, I was planning on only doing like a 2-hour live... Oh, I don't know what happened there. I think I like camera glitched a little. I was planning on doing just like a 2-hour live stream. I don't have any friends that are interested in drawing either. Do I have another? Let me think. Let me take a look at my art books. I was gonna wind down the stream anyways. I was planning on like doing just like another like hour of streaming for 2 hours, and then you know I got a bunch of comments and viewers, so I was like maybe I'll just draw and talk a little bit more. Let me see if I can find some more art books that might be interesting. This is not necessarily a art book. If you know who Robert E. Howard... I damaged it. Robert E. Howard, creator of Conan the Barbarian, Solomon Kane, Cole, and this is not his drawing, obviously, but the drawings in this book are pretty great. Let's see if I can... These are like the type of drawings I really like. And this book is really great. It's the Savage Tales of Solomon Kane Del Rey collection. So, I really like reading Robert E. Howard. And the illustrations in this book are just fantastic. These like pure black and white images, and almost every page has a image right here. His use, I forgot who this artist is. Can we see who the artist is? Let me see if there's an artist credit. Gary Giani. I don't know who this man is. I've never heard of this man. But the way he does his drawings is amazing for this book. The little side stuff here. It's really, really great. The black and white drawings. I kind of turned coat when I first did digital drawing. I was really into inking and stuff like that, and then I stopped because I was bad at it. And then when I did traditional drawing, when I switched over to traditional drawing, I went straight into pencil again, into mechanical pencil. But now that I like look at these types of drawings, I'm really getting interested in going back to black and white depictions of drawings. It's too good for me, you know. It's too good. It makes me want to learn how to do more inking and like, at the very least, I want to start doing pen drawings and things like that. Really good knowledge. I've studied a lot, but I still have much more to learn. So if you like, take a look. I don't know if I don't like mess up my the way he hatches to illustrate the form, right? So it kind of rounds out on his bottom here, and then it goes down, and then he uses horizontal lines for the pant legs, and then it wraps around. He uses horizontal lines. He goes this way, and then he goes this way, wrapping the form. Does the same thing here. He wraps the lines around. And I was showing this earlier on in the stream when I was doing this one right here. Sorry about that. Is when you have a circular form or like a rounded form, right? You want to, if you don't want to do color and things like that, you gotta do wrapping lines, you know, to indicate that form. And that's what cross hatching really does well with pen and ink, is since you don't have any color besides black or white, you really have to kind of go all in with your knowledge of hatching, cross hatching, stippling, circling, and things like that to really convey a 3D form. That horse right there. It's hard to see with this skull, but he kind of like goes diagonally down. He rounds out the form using vertical wrapping lines. Yeah. It's really great. The stippling on the dagger is really good as well. I did not see that I damaged it though. I'm not super bummed about it. I guess I messed up when I was putting it back. Back in my bookshelf, but yeah. If you're looking for like novels to read, like Sword and Sorcery, Conan the Barbarian, if these youngins, I'm not trying to be condescending. I'm just joking around. But people know who Robert E. Howard is. He probably top 1 writer of all time. I've read a lot of books. This guy is great. I'm looking to order some more books from him, from Del Rey collection specifically. I really love Conan the Barbarian, and I kind of want to do more Conan the Barbarian stuff. So that's why I've been doing gesture drawings. So this is a horrible example. I'm not very good at gesture drawings, but I want to do more gesture drawings because I really like how artists depict Conan the Barbarian and how they depict women. And I think that it would be very good for my skill level to be better at gesture drawing, which means I gotta pick up some more supplies. I have a fine liner, I have like gel pens, and I have like normal ballpoint pens, but I don't have like any sort of like felt tip pens. I don't have any technical pens. I don't have any, what do you call it, zebra pens for like inking large dark spots. So I'm gonna have to take a look there. Yes, I am a self-taught artist. It's one of my things that I like to show off on my YouTube channel. my banner on my YouTube channel, just straight up self-taught artist and YouTuber. I've been drawing for 3.5 years. I started in 2021. I got my tax return when I was working. I quit working in 2021, near the fall time, and then I kind of just waited for my tax return in 2022, I think. And I used that money to buy a digital drawing tablet. I bought a Gaomon Gaomon PD 156 Pro, and for about 3 years I drew digitally. And I never really got anywhere drawing digitally to where I was really satisfied with drawing digitally. While my skill like improved, you can take a look. I have a video on my YouTube channel where I go through 3 years of studies, and I go from anatomy to gesture drawing to faces and things like that, and I show every single bad drawing and every single mistake I've made in all the studies. I have thousands and thousands of pages of studies that I've done, and my video for that covers almost every single bad drawing, bad study, good drawing, good study that I've done. And after I did that, I was really dissatisfied with drawing digitally, and it came to a certain point where I was like, well, I can't really draw digitally anymore. I don't really like drawing digitally. And so I switched over to traditional. I got a pencil and paper. I got a light pad. This is what I use. I have a printer. I print it out. I line up all the references and the stuff, and I draw it on here. It plugs in. It's got a plug-in, and then it's got 3 brightness levels. Oops, what happened? I was trying to plug it in. I think I messed up with some stuff, but yeah. And so I've been drawing digitally traditionally, I mean, sorry about that, for I don't know how long. Almost half a year now. And I'm having a lot more fun drawing traditionally than I have drawing digitally. So yeah, if you want to take a look at it, it's on my channel. It's called maybe I can link it to you. Let me drop a link in the chat for you. We gotta go over to my YouTube channel. I've been kind of doing a rebrand for my YouTube channel recently. Changed my banner. I'm thinking of changing my profile picture again. But I've been just kind of, you know, it's a time of progress for me in terms of drawing and in terms of change in general. Where is my video? Hey, how's it going? Yeah, unfortunately, we're kind of winding down the stream here. I know you just came at the tail end. But I'm just talking. I'm tired of drawing. I've been drawing for 2 hours. I'm just kind of yapping. If you have any art questions, if you have like anything you want to like, if you need explained, I'll try my best to tell you guys how to do it. And I have some paper here. I have some pencil here. But you kind of winding down the stream here, to be honest. My throat's getting a little bit sore from talking so much. But if you have like any concepts you want me to explain, or you want me to like show you things like, you know, how to draw a face or drawn circles, fundamentals, shapes, things like that, just ask me and I'll do perspective. I'll do my best to. Where is that video? I can't find it. Is that bad? That must be a bad thing for me. I can't find my own video. Just give me some time. Give me some time. Oh, here it is. I found it. I found it. I found it. Here's the video. I believe it's that video, if I'm correct. Yeah. Don't give up my 3-year art journey. I go through hundreds of my studies of my drawings and things like that, and I talk about the struggles that I had and my mindset that was going on throughout my first 3 years. While I'm just sitting here, I might as well pull out another art book to have you guys have something to look at. Let me take a drink of water here. We can just go through this art book while we talk. Yeah, at the time of that video, it was 3 years ago. Now it's 3.5 years. I need to diversify my art book collection. It's all just this guy. But like I said, Akira Toriyama, when it comes to his Dragon Ball artwork, I really like, but I don't consider him like top 1 for Dragon Ball artwork. I do consider him top 1 when it comes to Dragon Quest, though. I really like Dragon Quest. One of my best. This is one of the very first art books I ever bought with my own money when I was working in 2021. It's a fantastic art book. Yeah, this has turned into an art book live stream because I got tired of drawing. And, you know, I just want to talk. It's hard to talk and draw. Dragon Quest 1. Anybody enjoy any Dragon Quest enjoyers in the live stream here? Love the watercolor. Yes, rest in peace, Akira Toriyama. Very sad. It shocked me when he died. He's got his studio working though. Well, he's got Toyotaro working on Dragon Ball Super and, you know, things like that. Even though that's been in a decline or a stalemate ever since Toriyama died, but yeah, Yuji Horii, and you have Bird Studio, who actively trained under Toriyama. Yeah, Dragon Quest is one shot, 18 pages. Nice. Nice. You have like a name for your manga? I guess a name would be like the last thing you would work on. Or maybe it would be the first thing you would work on when creating a manga. I'm not sure. I've never created a comic, or I am interested in doing like a sort of comic thing. Or like short stories, but that's going to be another couple years before I do that. I'm just trying to get better at drawing nowadays. Well, let's skip ahead to... Was it Dragon Quest 5? 4, 5, and 6. How's it going with your manga then? Is it all smooth sailing? This is my guy right here, Dragon Quest 4. I just beat Dragon Quest 4 recently. Recently as in like 6 months ago. Do it, it's fun and tiresome. Yeah. That's more of a reason for me not to do it. I'm already burnt out. I've been drawing 3.5 years almost nonstop. I've been practicing and studying and drawing nonstop. The only times I've ever taken a break from drawing in the 3.5 years I've been drawing is I caught COVID in, I think, 2022. And I took a break about 7 days, 5 to 7 days. And I went back to drawing immediately. And then I took a couple week break in January of 2023, I think. And then I burnt out really quickly again in April, and I took the entire month of April off in 2023. So I can barely count on one hand, right, the amount of times I've taken a break longer than a couple of weeks, or even a week from drawing. So I'm on the burnt out phase right now when it comes to drawing. So I've been looking at a lot of art books and things like that. Been looking at movies and things that I want to do rather than just drawing. Been playing a lot of video games. You're on the last page. Nice. 2 panels left. Good. Are you planning to post it online anywhere? I post all my artwork on the community page here on YouTube, and I post on Newgrounds. I'm a big fan of Newgrounds, but that's about it. Oh, and I have my Patreon too. What, like the not safe for work stuff that I do very little of goes up on Newgrounds and Patreon. See if we can move on to like Dragon Quest 6. Yeah, that's good. You're almost at the finish line. Keep going. Be sure to take a lot of breaks. Excuse me. There we go. Dragon Quest 6. Yeah, manga is definitely not something for the lighthearted to do. I could never create a manga. Like, I'm inspired by how like manga artists do their hatching and cross hatching and stippling and things like that, but I could never. This one is mine. Planning to make a second one. Good. Nice. A manga can be anywhere from a few pages to 5,000 chapters, like One Piece, you know. You want to start off small. You don't want to start off big. You don't want to bite off more than you can chew when it comes to art. You want to tackle when you want to improve, you want to tackle something that's at your skill level or slightly above, right? Those few pages will someday turn into multiple chapters, and those multiple chapters will turn into a big long series. Check my phone. Yeah, these full page, but like, I don't know how Akira Toriyama does it, but the way his colors work, I wonder, quite manageable. Hey man, you're almost done, so clearly you've managed it. Yeah, the way Akira Toriyama colors this is amazing. The way he can move from this type of artwork to this type of artwork in multiple different styles is amazing. Like I said, I'm not a big fan of Dragon Ball and like post like Dragon Ball Z Toriyama, but when it comes to Dragon Quest, his Dragon Quest designs will be timeless. I'm kind of like a Akira Toriyama refugee. I kind of stopped liking Dragon Ball, and then I just moved on to Dragon Quest, and I still, you know, it's the same thing for the most part. Rocket Slime. Dragon Quest 8. Let's take a little look at the Dragon Quest 8 artwork, and then wind the stream down. Well, it's already been winding down for a little bit. Even the music is winding down. We're at the tail end here. I want like a poster of this. I'm gonna go like on eBay, and I'm gonna find a poster of this to put on my wall. Because this, not just the characters, but Toriyama is the only guy in art that can make me look at like in an environment and think I want to draw that. You know, him and Takehito Harada. The way he draws environments is crazy, even in Dragon Ball. I'm not a big fan of drawing environments or buildings or things like that, but his environmental design is second to none. His mechanical design is second to none too. Some Jessica up in here. There's Jessica. Yusuke Murata. Nice. Yeah. One Punch Man. One Punch Man Season 3 is coming out. How we feeling about that? Hey, thanks, man. I'll probably do another stream next week. The stream's winding down anyways, so that's all right. Thanks for talking. Thanks for coming. Have a good day. Hope everything goes well with your art journey. Good night. I mean, for me, it's almost 4 p.m. But for you, it's probably nighttime since you said good night. Have a good night, man. Yeah. For me, I think it's time for me to get going, too. Let's take a look at the things we drew today. After the stream is over, I'm going to put chapters in the live stream for the drawings I did and some piece of advice. So this sword drawing I did in the beginning, dagger drawing I did. And I'm going to post these pictures up on the community post tab. And I'll make a playlist for this live stream, for live streams. We did like this fold practice, this pipe fold. I tried to do gesture drawing. Very horrendous. Probably should have done more of a bean shape. Early 4 a.m. Jeez. I think I went to bed like at 5 a.m. 6 a.m. Jeez. I like to stay up a lot. And then we drew this abomination. Did another. So we didn't get too many drawings done, but that's all right. Anyways, thanks for sticking around, guys. Thanks for clicking on the live stream. I plan to make these like a regular occurrence for the weekend, because I drop a mainline video, like a main video, like a long form video on the weekend, and then I drop a short of that exact video on Sunday. And then sometimes Monday I'll sprinkle in some like video game stuff, but that's like very rare uploads, or I'll do like a speed drawing, things like that. I already have next week's video planned out. So next week you can count on me doing another live stream, I hope, if I'm not too busy. I don't know what time. I started this live stream like in the afternoon, like at 1 p.m. Maybe I should start it later. I'm not sure. We'll see. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening. If you wish to support me, my payment and / tipping and just all social media links. If you want to take a look at my Newgrounds, you want to take a look at my Patreon, you want to take a look at my Buy Me a Coffee, you want to take a look at my YouTube channel, all the links are in my profile. Thanks for sticking around, guys. Thanks for talking with me. Have a great day. I wish you all well on your own art journeys. Hopefully, I'll see you guys again next weekend. Goodbye for now. See ya, Half Piece. See ya, Sid.